Good afternoon, good people, and welcome to another of our Duck Derby races. We got week 3 flags going on here. We got some entrance and floor shuffle. You have in the booth today, whatever time it is for you. This is Saracen. We've got Luffy DV. Luffy, how the heck you doing?
I am wonderful, Saracen, enjoying a beautiful Sunday morning here on the East Coast in the USA. Ready to watch our guys take it out here in week 3 and see what they can do.
I think you're talking too loud for that golf match you got in the background right there. They might hear you.
My second monitor is on very quiet. It's British Open Day, man. Moving day, day 4. Let's go.
So this is our first group taking on the week 3 flags, which I said, like I said before, it's entrance and floor. We've got shard hunt. We've got B-side tiles. What else sticks out to you, good sir?
So looking around here, some things stick out, but right away down in classes, we got the half black belt crit rate turned off, and you can see that 2 of our runners here in Sin Pyro and 4X both took a black belt. Get Darkmoon to throw the blurstings up on screen when he gets a minute, and we could talk about what these blurstings are on the characters. Black belt seems a little baity for me, so I don't know if I would have taken one, but I totally get it with the B-side tiles. It's very, very tasty to get that XP.
You know, I bucked the trend on the B-sides. I think the B-sides are for group grinds, not for black belts, but I hear where you're coming from on that.
You're not wrong, you know, because you can run into that 4-worm tile, the 2 Nagas and water tile. That's not great for a black belt, but you can mow it down with the party.
The other thing, though, is you're going to be opening a lot of boxes because it's a treasure hunt, so that part's tricky, too. Like, when do you take the time for a grind? And, you know, is the desert your best option?
It could be. And the scaling here, you're only getting at 5% per key item. We're not getting anything from shards, so...
Other thing to note is that the HP scaling on the bosses isn't super high, so, like, Black Belt 32 is enough, usually. We do have our blurses up on screen now. You want to run us through those?
Yeah, so fighters, plus 20 HP, plus 10 hit percent, pretty good. At the cost of Black Mage Strength, probably won't matter that much if they get something that can swing that's really pretty good. Thief, plus 15 MDef, plus 30 HP at the cost of 10 Vitalities, so they're going to have HP in the beginning and they're going to lose it as we go along. Black Belt, plus 40 Agi, pretty good, so they'll be a little evasive in a way. Plus 10 Strength is kind of like womp-womp, because Strength does nothing when you're punching with a Black Belt. It only does something for your weaponry at the cost of a Pro Ring, so again, that's really fine. You're not going to really put armor on them. Red Mage, like you were saying earlier, very competent in a way as a melee dealer with plus 20 hit at the X-Cal, but they lose some strength at minus 15. White Mage is dead to me this seed. Plus defense sword, plus 5 luck at the cost of a ribbon. White Mage, no ribbon. White Mage, no good. Black Mage, plus 20 vitality, plus black shirt. So if we find that early, we'll be able to equip it for some nice armor, and they'll have a few more HP than normal at the cost of hit percent, which they're not going to be doing anyway. So no loss there.
So I'm gonna take the bold stance here. The White Mage is still valuable for the possibility of early exit, but we're gonna have the big call out here, and this is, I think, Sir Tobalot is probably in the weirdest position of all of the runners on stream here. We do have a few off stream, but of the ones on stream, because we have deep towns turned on, and that means you're really only guaranteed to find Canaria early.
Yep.
And you kind of want double melee carry to handle that. And Thief is sort of a guarantee, right? Thief is just so good these days.
Yeah, Thief meta is not going away anytime soon with these the Agi boost that it gets. It just becomes almost unhittable in slot 1 sometimes.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting seeing how that plays out. It's nice to have the early X-Cal potentially, and our runners are off.
All right.
Slight bit of sinking, kind of usual.
Yeah.
White Magic 2, Cure 3. They're white locked.
Yep, and promotion locked in the slot 4 there for the Red Mage. So.
And Lit 2, I guess.
Okay, this is going to be fun.
Okay, what do we got in our armor shop? Glove plus 3, chain plus 3. Those are both very reasonable.
And we have a Katana plus 1 as our helpful item, I think? Or was it 1 melee item? We had a Katana in our inventory. 1 helpful item, so that's something.
Iron Chuck +5 for the black belt players is actually really good.
You know what? I take back what I said about the strength not doing anything for the black belt. That black belt's going to be hitting pretty good.
We just saw Forsaken Sadness sell the katana in order to afford Silver Sword +4s for the fighter and the red mage.
You know what? That's not a bad play.
It's not.
That's not a bad play at all. Silver Sword +4, that will absolutely carry you through this early game.
So we're seeing we also had Deep Topher on, but it was behind literally one floor, like that middle floor of Marsh at Canaria Castle. So we won't be too scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not going to be searching that out.
The big gamble, of course, here is how much do we feel like going on to search for items. It looked like there was an opal shield, maybe, which, I mean, sure, whatever.
Again, it'll sell. You want to hang on to it for the fighter comps, which I see one on stream. Sure.
But it is nice to get a couple of things going on here, and Sir Tobalot actually is not going to have super many problems early here because with we have White Mage Harm All on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he does have 3 casters of level 2 spells. It's not super bad.
No,
it's just
really
going to be. It's going to be a little awkward when you find an actual good room.
Forsaken Sadness right there. Did a cheeky check of all the chests on Marsh 2. Found one chunk. So early chunk lead for Forsaken Sadness. Chonks. It's always fun loading up a shard hunt and wondering what you're going to have, chasing down Biggses and Wedges and Orblets and Chonks.
All right, that opal shield was pretty good money.
Oh yeah, 4K, I'll take that.
It's going to allow our runners to stock up on some items and think.
Moderately priced softs there, and we did have cabins, so we have save items. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's like the bane of deep towns is, do you actually get a save item in your first town?
Oh man, we did some kind of like monster terrible thing that Shroom Bobby set up a few weeks ago, and he turned on unsafe start and deep towns, and we had no save items for about 45 minutes, and it was just terrible. It was just terrible.
So one thing that I'll say here is we're probably going to see some strats when it comes to checking entrances this early. I certainly like to take strats on this, where you save somewhere that you are happy going back to, and then walk to an entrance, see if it's anything you can work with. If it is something you work with, you walk out and save again, right?
Yep, agreed.
I did see at least one runner who very quickly saved before checking an entrance, and it turned out to be one of the Cardias. Sid Pyro finding a Cardia entrance here.
Is this isn't incentivized, right? It is. It is. It is.
It's got a crown. Yep. Okay.
I remember seeing the Dragon Horde was ticked on, and sometimes when that's ticked on, we have Cardia incentive on, but with entrance and floor, it could go either way. So, yes, we have ourselves an item.
Okay, and it's behind this volcano floor where you can usually get through pretty well. So
yeah. For those of you that don't know, which I'm sure most of you do here, we're in week 3 of the Duck Derby 2022 Summer Edition. Walking on the damage tiles here, you'll see a lot of runners do that. That does not advance the encounter table, so you're not going to take any fights while taking damage right there, which is pretty good to try to get through there without having to run into anything.
Forex finding another volcano floor, the Agama floor itself.
Ooh, and okay, we had okay. I thought that was a trap tile for a second where he was, but I thought we had B-side tiles on, so that
we certainly do have B-sides on.
It couldn't be a single Agama. That would be blasphemous. Yes, Rich, I do mean awesome.
Okay, so Dark Twinge pointing out we should probably talk about what Shard Hunt means real quick. Shard Hunt means we don't actually necessarily care about our 4 fiends. We care about shards, and now we can kill those fiends to get some. In this seed, they're going to be called chunks. We need 28 of them. If you kill Lich or Carry and light the orb behind them, you are going to get a pair of chunks each. If you kill Kraken or Tiamat, they are worth 4 when you light their orb. And other than that, you got to open boxes. And once you've got your 28 chunks, you will be able to go into the Temple of Fiends Revisited and go kill a Chaos.
What is your approach when it comes to that? Because this does, like you were just saying, kind of devalue fiends in a way. We don't really necessarily have to clear dungeons, especially with entrance and floor, like whatever we're not sure we're going to run into anyway. Do you try to seek out fiends to hit those 12, guaranteed shards and only have to worry about finding 16 more, or you just kind of take it for what it is as we find the ice loop right here?
Ooh, the ice loop is rich in opportunities. That's an iron goal.
That. Okay, that is going to probably not be killable right now, depending on how much HP they have, though. Okay, good.
It is not.
I mean, maybe they got lucky, but no, not at like level 6. But that's good information for 4X, who does have the black belt, if he so wanted.
So to get back to your question about how do I prioritize things, I like to know where the fiends are, but really my objective is what's the most dense. And the thing with entrance and floor specifically is you can run into fiend floors as an entry-level floor.
Right.
I've had an entrance and floor seed where the first monster I killed was Tiamat with a Brack.
Right.
So, this is a flag set that can offer you some play in that regard. And it's worth thinking about the possibility, especially Kraken and Tiamat, because they're worth 4 shards each. Like, that's huge. I don't want to check all 252 boxes or whatever the total is. Yeah.
I want to point out the humor right here of, well, I'm not humor anymore because his party got wiped. I'm sorry, 4X, but the humor of finding the Frost Dragons on the vanilla Frost Dragon tile, but it's not a 1-2 encounter, it's a 3-4. I thought that was kind of funny for a second.
Slash is scary. Now the downside of this, and this is always the balancing act of playing entrance and floor with Shard Hunt, is how many risks do you take early, walking into a spike tile when you have looted out a floor prior?
And we have another strange mocha French vanilla tile with Frost Giants and Frost Wolves on the Frost Wolf tile. Ice Cave is really weird right now.
This is a little bit of a scary ice, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Now, I mean, that iron goal tile is so tasty.
Yep.
It is amazing.
I'm very curious what this is going to be on the vanilla eye tile right here. Ice Sword +1, going to be nice for a fighter or a red mage to swing. Thief can't do anything with that till they become a ninja. Another lucrative tile that punches very hard.
For the ship.
All right. Okay. Now we gotta walk this out. We're gonna want to walk that out. Oh boy.
So this Matoya entrance is feeling pretty weird. From the standpoint of what we still have available, we haven't seen the Provoca entrance yet. And we don't have extended open on.
We do not.
Tells me that this ship is the logical out.
Yep. Unless we somehow luck into Provoca leading us to both the canoe and the floater, we're going to be running into that canal within short order. I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even necessarily know about the canal right away, but the fact that the ship will open up 4 extra entrances?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. The canoe would only open up 2 more entrances, or 3 more entrances.
Yeah,
than the
3
ship
if you
would.
count the crescent. Yeah, so volcano, ice cave, and crescent.
Sir Tobalot having a brief moment of getting lost looking for stairs out. I understand entirely.
Oh, sir, just wait till you start playing with Fripp horizontal dungeons.
Hey, when we start putting in the fun, oh, he didn't save.
Oh,
He gets out.
wow. Okay,
That's a C-split on Senpyro's screen at Provoca.
interesting.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, I want to know, like, I'd hard reset right here and just take a peek at, like, what's the first encounter with that lightning 2? You might be able to get some, like, really cheeky levels here pretty quick on these floors. And Gaia, which is a thing.
That's actually kind of nice. Not great. Houses are very cheap.
Yeah.
Wow.
To quote you right here, I think we have 80s style housing pricing right now.
Yeah, right?
Mhm.
The market my parents bought in.
Wow, that Gerpy just smacked that thief on Forsaken Sadness' side. Okay.
And our crown turn-in at the other side of C-Split.
Interesting.
For the bottle.
Wow. Okay.
All right. This is a nice and compact C-Split that we're seeing here. I'm impressed.
I am too. Oh, come on, Forsaken. Okay, Forsaken Sadness makes it out. That was a little spooky.
I'm still impressed. Was it Sir Tobalot that had walked out, didn't save immediately, and got an encounter with squint imps?
Yep. Oh my god.
And got out of it with a 1 hit point white mage?
Wow.
There's our canoe.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
Part of the puzzle here. Okay.
Taking the long way out. Okay.
Yeah,
Actually, it makes sense if you're going to save.
Yeah, if you're going to save, yeah.
And check the item shops.
How much cash?
By the way, check the item shops.
3K. I think that they did, question mark? Silver helmet +3. Were they buying that? No, I think they're just...
No, this is a sell.
Okay. I didn't think anybody could wear that.
Our bot has not been updated with the correct runners.
Oh no.
They're still on the last week runners.
They are.
Because I did the comms on that race.
I see that.
Okay, so Senpyro selling off a bunch of stuff, keeping the katana, and getting out of here. The nice thing about Deep Towns is that they are effectively a free cast of exit. And just save, reset, we're back on the overworld, let's go.
Does Forsaken Sadness not have the crown?
That's a good question that I don't know the answer to.
They reset out of Northwest Castle. Maybe they were just trying to check the other entrance first before they went and did the thing. Steak on a tile over here, I think, on Senpyro's side.
I think that stake is a little too tough for the resources we have right now.
Yeah, Lit 2 gonna chip it down, but I will do you one better than with this Lightning 2.
Yeah, the return Lit 2 is not so friendly.
Quick little British Open update for you people on my second monitor. Rory McIlroy and Cameron Smith are tied at 18 under par. Very interesting.
That's a Bane shirt, sir.
Bane shirt. Not, you know what? That is really nice, actually.
That one resisted time and ice, which means it's also the black shirt, which the black mage can wear right away. Right?
Yes, the black mage can wear the black shirt.
But in the case of Senpyro, putting it on the black belt to have it able to do something.
No problem, Dark Twinge. I just wasn't sure because I thought that the crown. We got the crown from Ice, right? So, no, that was the ship. Okay, so maybe they do not. I can't remember where we got the crown. Oh, it was the card. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think 4X and Forsaken went over to Dwarf Lock yet. Good point.
All right, so we've got canoe, we've got ship. Where are you going, Luffy?
I mean, I think I probably try to continue clearing inner sea right now. Check Elfland, check Northwest, check Dwarves if I haven't done that yet. But I mean, I always try to look at like what item I'm getting here and what's the seed trying to tell me to do. It gives me the canoe. I start thinking, what is the river blocking?
Yeah, and we see Sir Tobalot taking the big gambles.
Love it.
I do too. Now, I want to see Sir Tobalot save here.
Mm-hmm.
And then take the long river trip and then reset as soon as he finds out that ice is like Bahamut.
Well, I mean, we have free tail though, so he would take that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I missed that.
Wait,
right.
let me check. Oh nope. Ignore me. Free tail is part of the co-op flags that I was reading earlier. I'm getting flag bleed. We have free loot here. I'm sorry.
Sin Pyro finding Earth 1. That's a big. There's the Kraken floor,
and we got that Bane shirt if we wanted to get real saucy with it.
We have found Crescent Lake at ice. That's a huge find.
Yep. That's magic items and a key item.
There's pro rings there. That's real good. I like pro rings.
Chanigan and Shroom always yell at me because I buy them. They say I waste time. I say I'm going to resist rub.
Yeah, and the quad X's. Hey, there's the cat claw. If you want the cat claw anything. It's cat actually a good 5. Cat claw. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Or deals at one of the Elfland entrances. Real nice.
Question in chat from Arts and Crafts Day. Can a battle occur at any single step someone is walking? Mostly. You cannot get an encounter on damage tiles in certain dungeons, specifically Volcano and Ice Cave. And I don't think there's any other damage tiles besides those two.
Also, certain bottom walls of rooms, inside rooms, will not advance your encounter table.
Yes. And walking in front of any door.
Yep. Well, any of the tiles on the door. So
right.
One above the door itself and one below.
4X and Forsaken have gotten their crowns.
All right, so this is a really rude ordeals. Sin Pyro got the womp womp. But there's the stairs.
Okay.
So we get to check our 2 spike tiles up here. Mudgull Sorcerer, not great, but okay at this level. We get the Adamant on Sir Tobalot's side.
It'd be really nice if we had some kind of decent sweeper for that Sorcerer Mudgull tile, which we are lacking.
So, if anybody was wondering about how commentary goes on an entrance and floor seed, you're about to see just how fractured it is, because we have Forsaken Sadness heading in the general direction of Volcano. We have Sin Pyro clearing up was it the ice? No. Sir Tobalot was the ice entrance. Sin Pyro's at one of the Elfland entrances. Like, we're all over the place. We have no idea what's going on. So... We're having a good day.
Looks like that was Elfland Castle was your deals. Neat.
Okay.
Did we check Elfland proper? We're going back. Maybe not.
It's a good question. We're going to a ship.
Yeah.
I actually understand this.
Yep, we're going to save steps.
We're going to go for the fast way. I get it. That's cool.
We did find a canal as well. Sin Pyro did. So I was pretty on about the early-ish canal, and hey, we have a Tiamat.
Some lucky individuals have Bane shirts that could go after that Tiamat. Sir Tobalot finding Titan's West.
No ruby means no passy.
Yeah, and now we get to contemplate the wormhole. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that was the volcano entrance, so
Oof. Womp
very
womp.
sad. Very, very sad.
That's right there. One of those examples of like if you save right there at that intersection and check the entrance and see what it is, you can just reset back to that intersection. But we're talking some like pretty, I don't know, I guess you'd say advanced tech here. These runners there are newer runners. They're going to learn as they go.
Sin Pyro finding Earth 4.
Lots of boxes and a couple trap tiles if we want to check them.
Yeah, this is a great floor for cheeky grinds. Sir Tobalot finds Bahamut.
Okay.
Which, if I'm remembering where Sir Tobalot was, that means it's at the Crescent Lake entrance?
I believe so.
And that will allow Sir Tobalot to clear up the remaining boxes of the Cardias, which is going to feel bad because I think it's 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3 too. And of course, they're not all together. They're spread about the entire room. Okay, we get a chunk though.
Apparently it was just 2. Whatever. Marking it down, getting out of here. Not seeing any of the big payouts here. Our only incentivized weapon in this flag set is the Vorpal. So that Masa could be hanging out anywhere. That Excal for the Red Mage users could be anywhere out there.
Q block at the bottom of Earth 4 there.
Unfortunate. Now the real test is walking Earth 4 backwards.
So let's see if we can do a quick little chunk update here at about the 22-minute mark. I saw Sim Pyro with 5. See if we can see anybody else. 5 as well for 4X. And that was either 4 or 5 for Forsaken Sadness. Oh, that's a loaded level 6 and very sad.
There's a Masa -1 on 4X's side.
Ooh, and a Quad X shirt.
Big. Oh, and that's in the seafloor that I think, yeah, at least one other runner has been to that seafloor. I think it would be Sin Pyro, who has headed over to the Melmond continent, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, look at this. How much HP do they have? We saw them earlier. Oh, they got Sleep Touch. That's annoying.
Sleep Touch is kind of enough of a disqualifier for me on that.
Yeah, especially when they roll multiple hits like this.
Yeah. I don't want it to be a disqualifier, but yeah. Oh, and Glance.
Ooh, and Glance. Yeah, I'm out.
We're done here. We're out.
I'm out. Yep, there it is. I'm looking at Lord Fizzlebeef in chat, and I feel like that's exactly what he would say about me a year ago, too. Fizzle, teaching people still. And the better tile beneath the Agamas.
Oh, baby.
Okay. How much HP do they have? Less than 230.
Yeah.
I mean, I think right now, I just put that mass on the black belt and kill everybody. I get a few levels on the rest of my party here, get them to like 10, 12, and then everybody goes to sleep.
I agree.
That's free too.
Oh, that's so big.
Yep, that's free. So that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier, about can you get any random encounter on any step. This step that 4X is going to be doing, walking down to the bottom of the room and back up onto the spike tile, they're not going to get an off encounter walking at that bottom of the room. So this is just going to be eyes for days.
I do think it's funny that we're showing off our fabulous Masa and everything else, and then the black belt is like, well, my only item is a Quad X shirt. Go away, eyes. Like if we really wanted to do this efficiently, I would say let's keep attacking,
Yeah, just keep punching
for
me.
eyes, and then let's go hang out with some Agamas when we're ready to get rid of our people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, they'll do it just fine.
Yep. Sir Tabalot walking into Marsh Cave, which was that Earth 4, which leads to Q Block. Floater?
There's a floater.
Ooh, okay, so we found Canal, Floater, and Canoe relatively fast, so we're all correct.
Well, geez.
Simpyro, you mad lad, you're going to go for carry? I love it.
That's going to be a real tough fight with these resources.
What do you...
You don't have the resources for this, honestly.
Do they have the Quad X shirt if they get her down enough? I don't know.
You're asking dangerous questions.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about how the scaling is not super wild, 70 to 150, but that's still carry just spooky enough where I don't want to take her on at like level 10 if I can help it.
Yeah, this is a dangerous play. Now, you know, the people's hero if it's successful.
Yeah.
Because you could theoretically land you know, a couple lit twos. We get a hold right out the gate on the thief that was waiting.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
But, you know, you land a couple lit twos, you land a couple of swings, and maybe you can quad X shirt if you have that item.
Maybe. Free turn with ink here as well. So carry at least behaving so far, but these lit twos doing 15 to 27 is what I've seen so far. That's not going to get us there. Was that a lit two stick in that box in Ordeals? Yes, it was. It was. And we're gonna Bane shirt and pray. Bane, I'm assuming, is pretty close to 3 and 256 on Kelly here.
Pretty close indeed.
Yeah.
Down on Forex's side, has the Black Mage down?
Okay.
Apparently mute touch on the eyes.
Oh, that'll be rather annoying when we can't show them this awesome Quad X shirt.
Right?
But, you know, we'll show them the Coral Sword instead. What level we at here? We got to be like 17, right? Okay, yeah, 16. Okay. So I think you're right. I think maybe this is a moment where we walk onto those Agamas again and see if they'll do a little bit of work for us here, especially with the Thief.
Yeah.
You're kind of wasting time here throwing these Quad X's out.
Sinpyro recognizing the truth that that was not going to happen. I think he ran out of the lit twos, and that was the end of that. Forsaken Sadness has also found the 3-eye grind
in the other room, in the opposite room, because that trap tile is shared between both rooms, and it looks like the Massa and the Quad X shirt were both in that room, so that's juicy.
Wow. So what you're saying is that the 3 eyes are in the Deng room? I'm
saying 3 eyes are in the Deng room. How convenient.
Which room is that again?
The bottom right room.
Yeah, but how do you get to... Sorry, Greg. I know. If you're watching, I know we have to drag up old memories literally every time this happens.
Dark Moon. Which room? All right, I want to watch Forsaken Sadness here as they take their next encounter on these eyes. They walk sideways instead of up and down, so they can take an off encounter if they're not careful. I hope they're going to go up and down this time, and that was just like a mismenu while they were thinking. 4X down to the black belt.
Okay. Used those eyes effectively, I guess. We are at a point where this black belt can probably just punch these things, and that's safer just because of the mute touch.
Yeah. 23, they got their 6th hit right now. Yeah, you can punch these things down very comfortably. I would think.
That reduces your menu time too, because, you know, what is it?
Oh, they're punching really hard right here. This is scary. Ooh. This is scary. Okay, we're gonna survive it. Ooh! 4X, please heal.
Please. But yeah, just the possibility of a mute touch landing and wasting a turn is real. It's not even like bad. It's just annoying.
These guys are hitting rather hard on a black belt in their mid-20s right here. That's interesting. They should be doing like less than 10 damage right now.
The real question is, does that black belt have any armor equipped?
Ah, that would make a difference. You're right.
Pro ring -1.
Yeah, that would be enough right there.
Yeah.
Good point. 4X.
So Tobalot picking up the canal.
4X, stop using the quad X shirt, please. 4X, you're gonna do like 900 damage when you punch. Stop using the quad X shirt.
Like, I understand the rationale of I don't know how evasive they are. I know that this works.
Sure.
It takes so long.
Yeah, it's
up A, right AA is a lot of action.
Yeah.
Or whatever the confirm button is. It's not the same on my controller because I have things set up weird. But
I have it as the A button, but I think in reality it's supposed to be the B button. I just call it the A button. Hey. 4X, please punch. I just want to see how much damage you're doing now, please. If you hit 32 and you're throwing that quad X shirt out, we're gonna have words later.
Hey, there's a punch. 379. Okay, we're good.
That's fine.
We know it's only 2 confirms and no directions to kill these things. Good.
Yep. So this is where, like, if I'm sitting here on the tile, I'm just holding down A and I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking at my entrances. You're going to be about 35 minutes here. 4X is going to be level 42 on his black belt. What's your move here? You got floater? Does he have floater? No, he does not have floater or canoe or canal yet. Okay, 4X got some work to do.
Yeah.
But he should catch up really fast, though, with this black belt now being completely online.
Sin Pyro, meanwhile, in the air at 3240. Hot diggity dang.
Yep. You gonna promote?
I like it.
We got a roost stick over here. Where's that? Earth 1. Neat.
Yeah, which was on the way to Kraken. I think if you've got, and as stupid as this sounds, if you've got the coral -3 on the thief, throw the roost stick on it, and you just hope that that Kraken doesn't have spells.
Yeah, that could work. And I'm pretty sure that Simpyro has that Bane shirt. Bane, not ideal like Brack would be against Kraken. Like Bane's like 16% compared to like 25% for Brack. But we got an early Kraken and an early Tia. I am too. Like, but I guess there's something to be said where, all right, you know what? I do my exploration. I see I have 8 shards left. I know where 8 shards are. There's that.
All right, so we're gonna take a second and think from 4X's shoes. How high are you taking this black belt?
I mean, you and I were talking earlier that with the scaling, 32 is, I think reasonable. But I think that if you found any other tile besides this, maybe I stop at like 39 if it's like, taking me a while. But this is free 42 in about 90 seconds. So I just sit here.
I understand that logic. My issue is the only thing you're getting out of 42 really, like for realsies, is the sense of satisfaction that you're going to one punch things and that things are going to run away from you, right?
True. Yeah, like you get the MDF protection too, so there is that. But yeah, I hear you.
And I mean, I shouldn't poo-poo the MDef. Like 40 MDef is pretty significant.
True.
However, we're talking 70 to 150 on the HP scale. Like, I don't know that I go past like 36, 37. Even then, like just That's an X-Cal +1.
Nice.
On
Put that on that red mage. I like it. Where is he? He's got to be 40 now, right? 38? Okay.
Dragon +5 for the thief?
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a really pretty good weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That could kill Tiamat, too, while we're talking about things to do. That could absolutely kill Tiamat.
Now, I think Sin Pyro found the entrance with the seafloor that this eye tile is on, but didn't actually find the tile, maybe?
I don't think
Which is weird.
a lot of the boxes there.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have the Massa either.
That's unfortunate. This is such a huge exploration lead that Sin Pyro has, and at the same time, you're like, the equipment and the levels.
Yeah. It's going to be a real interesting to see how this works out, because Sin Pyro also has a black belt. But like you said, they have the exploration lead. 4X is the only other person to take a black belt, and they're going to be mowing things down now as they catch up. But can they recover in air quote here, but can they make up the ground they need to, being this far behind in exploration? We're going to see.
So this is the part of the seed that is the most scary for 4X, is can you get out of this floor?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that can kill you here. If you run into a 6-pack of ghosts, that can ruin your day.
I mean, ghosts, even lobsters can be real scary at this point.
I don't.
By the by, it looks like 4X never had any armor equipped on. Okay, we're out. We're safe.
All right.
4X never had any armor equipped on that black belt.
So bizarre.
Therefore, was never actually like taking that sort of absorb penalty, and therefore those eyes actually were just hitting real hard.
They were actually just hitting hard. That is really interesting. Typically, the eyes of the vanilla game have about 8 different spells and scrim and skills to throw at you instead of really punch you. But sometimes in the rando, you'll see him actually hit 2-3 hits for 60-80 damage, which is really awful.
So Zoom Waffle asking in chat, what does chunk mean? So we have a treasure hunt for this seed. Rather than requiring all 4 of the original fiends, we need to collect 28 shards or chunks in this particular case. We get 2 shards for lighting the earth orb or the fire orb. We get 4 for lighting the water orb or the air orb. But otherwise, we need to find them out of boxes. So there will be plenty. There's always more than you need. But yeah. It's a big old treasure hunt.
Yep. These kind of seeds really feed my inner loot goblin, because for the longest time I had such an issue of not opening opening too many boxes, and these were always good for me because I had to open boxes.
I just think that entrance and floor really lends itself well to shard hunt. Which is our alternate name for treasure hunt. All right, 4X now has a ruse stick for the black belt.
I think there's no more worry here. That was the incentivized fanfare ruse stick that's in the game.
So that's real good news. That's especially since Kraken is immediately underneath this floor.
Yeah, I think you go for it.
You absolutely do. You swing for the fences, and it's a 70 to 150 Kraken. Oh no! Max hit points is what, 1,200?
Yeah, give or take.
And so you throw one punch, and it's going to do twice that. Probably not twice that, but you know what I mean.
At 43, it'll do roughly pretty close, especially because we got black belt half crit off. So this black belt could punch 10 times for, 1,800 damage if it feels like it.
Forsaken Sadness has found Titans East. Oh, Titans East and Titans West are not particularly helpful entrances this season. No. That's good to know.
Yeah, Melmond and Volcano. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, Fizzle. I don't think he's gotten that Florida yet, and he's not going to where it is.
Isn't this where it is? We're taking the longest possible route.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. All right, 4x. 4 hits, 111 from Kraken. 10 hits, 1402 from Black Belt. We out of here.
I was close. 10 hits, 1800. 10 hits, 1400. Ooh, where is that? Oh, it's a superstore. Okay, so level 2 magic loaded for white magic. Level 3 red learnable fade. You got all your magic here in levels 2 and 3 for the white casters. This is real good. Life 2, cure 4. Let's go.
Ice 3 level 2 is not bad.
Mm-hmm. There's temper. Nice. Okay.
Just kind of on its own, I think, too, right?
Uh-huh. Yep. There was really nothing else there. We don't have improved lightning on. Stun, no. Do we have fast level 4? We have Brack.
Fire 3 is not bad.
Yeah. Fast level 6? No. Okay.
I mean, at this point, we kind of know it's got to be at one of the bad stores. And by that, it's going to be here or in Onrak proper.
Yeah.
Or no, Onrak spells are here.
Gaia proper.
Well, I guess we never actually checked the Gaia spells because who checks Gaia spells, really?
Yeah. You're not getting level 7 and 8 charges on this Black Mage anyway, probably.
Lefane at Lefane? What is this garbage?
Wow. What did you roll, Bert?
Go Squeegee. Yeah, pretty much. One Punch Man is sort of how we feel about the black belt once you've powered it up a bit. Sinpyro, check in the desert. By the way, this is worth noting in this flag set. Overworld grind, not so hot. 0.4 encounter rate. So that's 4 encounters per 256 steps. They will be in the same place in the encounter table every time. However, it's just so long.
Unless you're finding a T-Rex or double sandwich off this hard reset, this is a waste. Well, I mean, not a waste because you're learning information, but this is not where you want to
be. Almost started over.
That would have been tragic.
Now, the sad part is we've got none of the resources to actually do this. Because I don't know if you noticed, but Sinpyro is sitting on 13 heal pots.
Yeah.
So all this exploration lead is becoming an issue.
Yeah. As 4X shows his 370,000 gold to the guy, say, give me all the heal pots, give me all the pures.
Here's Canaria Castle for Sinpyro. This could be a pretty big find.
2 items here. Crystal. We have not found Matoya yet. And Chime. Okay, that opens an entrance.
It's funny that that's one of those things that changes pretty dramatically with entrance and floor is you don't necessarily need the Chime, the Cube, the Rod, the Oxyale. All of that's sort of potentially optional. The dead ends were not shuffled in, from what I recall.
They are not. Yeah, Rod lock there at Cardia Swamp. That's a good floor.
This is a great floor. I love this floor.
Got, what, 14 boxes on this floor? It's a good floor.
And they're compact, too. Like, the worst part is walking to the 6-pack and walking back if you don't have level 6 charges for warp.
Mana cores with lightning too are giving some power.
Oh, and resets all the way back to prior to Canaria. That's
did Tabalot kill Kraken? I think so. 4X definitely did, as we just saw. 4X, real quick, 2 orbs lit for 4X, taking out Kraken and Tia. So 8 shards or chunks, but
So I'm going to say something a little bit bold here. 4X is actually in a really good position all of a sudden.
Yep. Once they get their floater, which I think you said was over here at this continent, I mean, this is going to be Zoomies time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Titan's East entrance.
Mm-hmm. Gonna find out if this is carry below this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
And leaving the red mage down too. That's I agree in some regards and I disagree in others, because I think the red mage is more important than the black mage most of the time.
Yeah.
And you know, we're at a point where we don't care about the experience split. Weird sword +5 for the thief, I guess. That's I think that's thief equipable, right?
I believe so. Dragon. No, wait. Maybe they can equip the wear. Maybe it's just the rune and the dragon. One of them they can, which makes no sense.
They can't do the giant.
Yep, that's the one they can't do. Maybe it's that one I'm thinking of.
So Bert has an observation on that from elsewhere, that its single-bladed swords are what the thief can wield. If it looks like it's a double-bladed, then the thief can't.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
So when I say 4X is kind of pulling ahead here in terms of like shards specifically, he's about to light a third orb.
Yeah. I mean, it's too bad we're not doing orbs here and it's really just shards, but I mean, he's still gonna, that'll be what, 10 shards from orbs alone? That's really good. And he's getting floater here though, so double bonus.
Yeah, so this is gonna be real good.
Top lot in the ice split here, they have not gotten their ship yet. Oh yeah, that's right, they went the long way.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, this is one time that did not pay off. I would have probably done the same thing, so I feel you.
Synpyro finding Sarda.
That's a free item. What's Grandpa got? Herb. Have not come across the Sleeping Elf Prince yet.
Alright, so 4X has picked up a floater and is about to punch down a Merilith. Forsaken Sadness, checking Rooms of Sadness in the in the TFC floor.
I probably would only check 2 boxes on this floor. I do like the TFC play though for the memes. I like that.
Yeah.
This floor is just too much walking for me. Even if you find 2 chunks here, this is don't want it.
Yeah, I would only be checking the that middle box.
Yeah, and the one on the bottom right.
The one on the bottom right. Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
4X has found the mermaids.
Speaking of mermaids, so a lock staff or sword there. It's pretty good. That was not the defense sword. Looks like we need another, what's that, 10 shards for 4X?
That is the defense sword, sir.
It is? I thought it didn't have the little icon. Was I just not paying attention?
It did not have an icon, which is
yeah, that's why. All right, you know what? You right.
Some days.
No. Send her away.
4X.
4X. 4X. Well, I am a proponent of, letting the Hooray Dwarf live in his misery of one-word sadness. You always carbonate bubbles.
And then gets rewarded with a ribbon from the one who talks about the Lefanish.
Neat.
That was a dragon armor +4 down there, by the way.
Wow. Okay. So really pretty good for Forsaken Sadness, who's the only one that brought a fighter.
Yeah, that's that armor is thick with some Qs.
Yeah. A semi-great axe +5, and the TNT.
Wet TNT. Excellent.
4X, do you have any charges of warp?
I can't imagine that 4X has charges of warp, unfortunately.
When you get your level 6 charges, level 18? Yeah, I think it's the mages are only at level 16.
Oh wow, there's the Aegis shield is in the Volcano Armory too. I missed that entirely.
+3 Aegis too. All right.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a thick fighter.
Yeah,
It's promoted tonight.
Forsaken Sadness and I were talking earlier in the chat room. They were saying that having a knight kitted out with like ice plus something and a whole bunch of like ridiculous armor, and Kraken was still smacking him for like 700 damage. You will get a much different experience here if you put those armors on a promoted knight this time around.
Yeah. So humorously, Onrak hiding behind the waterfall.
You'll love to see it. Simpyro, what are your levels at? I'm very curious.
That's an excellent question.
I'm very, very curious.
I think it's funny that Sinpyro is only now getting back over to the mermaids area.
Mm-hmm. I think there was 3 chunks in mermaids here.
You know, as much as I should be paying attention to chunks, I haven't been.
Excuse me. I think 4X actually has a bit of a chunk lead right here because of the 2 fiends they took down.
Mm-hmm.
They only needed... That was fast again. I think they only need 10. Oof, there's that ship for Sir Tabalot, and... Panic.
And all the sadness
Panic.
that comes with it. Getting your ship at the 52-minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
When it was essentially free right there, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You just didn't get it going a separate way. That's just bad luck. You can't really, you can't blame him for that. Hey, Saber Bonk right there from the Prince.
Neat. That's going to be an item that 4X does not care about. Here's our adamant, so whenever 4X finds the dwarves, we'll have good things to get from them.
I got a feeling Dwarf is behind Chime. Something just telling me that.
Sinpyro finding the marsh split at the Titan's West entrance.
This is very kind. We have had 2 first floor splits. Like, what is this? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Bert, you didn't roll it hard enough.
Yeah. Into another easy room. Oh, okay.
To the dwarves. Okay.
There we go. All right. Well, they're behind a stupid split, so that's a thing.
Rip Dwarf.
Mm-hmm. He was just celebrating.
For the ribbon out of the TNT. That's good.
Yeah.
It's not progression. And Sinpyro has not found Crescent Lake yet, and therefore doesn't have the adamant to go turn that in as well.
Right.
That's a little sad. But realistically, Sinpyro is in technical go mode, kind of.
I think they're in shard and go mode here, yeah. For the most part. They have
Whereas
loot,
4X finding the location is going to loot out these boxes, which I don't mind. There could be chunks here.
Yeah, there's a lot of boxes on this floor. This is pretty consolidated.
Yep, there was 1 chunk so far.
Another ribbon. All right, they need 8 chunks.
Wow. Yeah, this is looking real good for 4X at this point.
Yep, agreed. Hey, Provoca.
There's another chunk.
All right, we're down to
at the bottom of Marsh. That's cool.
I mean, we're going to get an item from the pirates, but a little less useful in the magic department because we've already found Lefane at Lefane. Oh, all right. Well, Adamant's useless.
Okay. That's good knowledge, too.
Yep. Ah, we have found Q-Block. Let's see. Still looking for a Lich. That could be useful. There's the Rod. We know where Rodlock is. Rodlock is Cardia Swamp. That's 2 more checks.
Invis stick in the dwarf armory, by the way. That's nice.
Invis 1 or Invis 2? I missed it.
Invis 1.
I mean, you could put that on someone and have them throw it on the black belt. That's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, so 6 shards left for 4X. I did not see Sim Pyro because they were a little on the quick there.
So I want to toss out a thing real quick here. So there was a little bit of menuing that 4X did just now that I'm going to say is temporarily unnecessary. And that was moving the Invis stick to the first slot of the red mage who is currently dead. That could have been done in equipment jiggling later.
Right.
Just as a little time save. It's good to put caster items in your first slot. 100% agree there.
Yep.
It's just, man, that's an optimization that can wait for later.
Yeah.
Looks like Sir Tobalot headed on the path to our floater. That's good.
Forsaken, how many shards you got? Oh, Forsaken Sadness only needs 4 shards.
Oh.
Okay. This is getting tight.
Jeez.
We got ourselves a lich. All right, Sin Pyro, how many shards do you have? But you're going to need levels, and you do not know where that eye is. Tobalot going to get his floater and then feel equally as bad for just finding the ship.
Well, at least the knowledge that, at least it seems, from his perspective, that the ship was required to get the floater.
True.
But, yeah.
But at least in the good news here, he's getting them both within about 5 minutes, and they can just continue and keep going. As you see, they have 11 shards. They got some catch up to do, but they do know where 2 of the fiends are. And 3, because we got carry here as well.
So 4X looked to be about 6 shards short?
Yeah, 4X needs 6. Sim Pyro, I think that was, it looked like it was 6 and 4. Maybe that was 16 shards, I think, for Sim Pyro, if I counted that fast. And Forsaken just needs 4. And their levels are really decent across the board here, I think. You can survive this with that kind of a party.
I love the magic on that black mage currently. We have warp, we have nuke, and we have lit 2. We're done.
Yep, that's it. That's everything you ever wanted. a little fast and temper would be good, but I mean, again, it's okay. Simpyro going to show us what Matoya is going to give us. Hey, there's the tail. They do not want that.
I like our hand holding that we have from 4X and Forsaken in Marsh there. And then we're like, nah. Forsaken's just out of there.
How many trunks were on these floors? What are you doing? Are you looking for a war mech?
That would be really funny.
It would be.
Could just be getting lost. You never know.
Up and left.
Oh, up and left strats.
You heathen.
So we are at a point in Forsaken's side of things where it's like, if it's not shards, I don't care.
Yep.
And I really appreciate that.
He had to have cleared out Sky 3 there, because there's no reason to not go to those 14 boxes with only the things you need. Skipping out on Rodlock, I like that.
Yep.
Get out of there. There's 4 boxes on that floor that are a total waste of time. There's 6 free boxes in the back here. Don't forget. Yep, go back for them. Nope. What are you doing? Go around. No. Oh, he's looking for magic. Oh,
that's fair. That's fair. It's headed directly to Tia. Oh,
yep.
Okay.
I think we're just going to take our shards and go.
attempting to land via Aylmarkin's School of Airship Flight. I don't remember the name of your school, Ale. I'm sorry. 4X finding a backup katana in the bottom right there of Marsh Locked.
Simpyro finding the Steak and Wings here. Going to try to get their levels on the black belt here. Sure. This is really very dangerous, though.
Fizzle, I don't know if that was a good killing you or a bad killing you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Sin, go to the bottom. Go to the bottom. No! Oh, they're going back to the stake. They are on the same floor where the eyes are, and they're not going to find them.
Also Masa, bottom right room.
Yeah.
The dang room.
Yeah.
The ultimate betrayal. Alright, 4X has found the Sky 3. Sir Tobalot has found mermaids. Thank you, Sir Tobalot. I was very concerned that you were going to let her walk away for a minute there, and then she trapped you.
14 shards for Sir Tobalot, and 4X needs 3 more.
So as I recall, this floor of Sky was very dangerous, and that it was because of, what, Lit 2 Manticores or something like that?
The 2 Manticores, yeah.
Alright, didn't find any chunks and therefore just reset immediately. I dig it.
Yep.
Well, found that chunk.
I think there was one in the top room as well, so they need 2 left. Alright, Simpyro doing some damage now with the black belt. Black belt level 16 though. That
we just saw our patrolling Warmech on 4X's screen and he just walked on by.
Just the black belt side-eyeing Warmech as he keeps walking.
Oh, Sir Tobalot checking the Ordeals entrance. I don't think anybody else has checked that entrance. And it is the asterisk floor, or the spider floor, however you prefer to refer to Sky 2.
Probably one of my least favorite floors in the whole game.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Except for the part where you can just walk straight down and get off it.
Yeah, usually I will. Oh, we're down to 3 heal pots too. Simpyro. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Simpyro has been really not prioritizing the healing.
Yeah, we're just going in without heal pots. Cool. Okay.
Into things with fire 2 and real damage.
Yeah. This stake's got like well north of 700 HP too. Oxtiel there on Sir Tobalot's screen.
Neat.
I'm just trying to like channel everything I can here to Simpyro. Okay. To go down to the bottom room.
Can I just point out, 4X is doing the rod lock floor without the rod, and was rewarded with a chunk out of Earth TFC.
That's so silly. That's silly.
We're just going to run away from some mummies real quick to check this chest, and then we're going to go punch a vampire for another chest, and then we're going to warp out.
There's Fast. Okay, so Fast is in on rack. Quick little British Open update for you guys out there. Cameron Smith, 19 under. McElroy, 18. Cameron Young, 17. This is getting good.
I'll have to trust you on that.
So what is 4x? He needs 3 shards?
Yep.
Alright. Is this short Topher?
It is.
Okay. Alright, well that equalizes things a little bit more with the black belt versus the fighter here.
Yeah, so it is short Temple of Fiends Revisited with all Fiend refight tiles on the way.
Black belt obviously has a decided advantage here, and Forsaken Set is going to be very happy to find Lefane.
There was a chunk for 4x.
Yep, down to 1. Still need another one.
Looks like 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so this is going to come down to what's going to happen first. 4x finding his last 2 chunks, or Forsaken Sadness getting his magic and getting it Temple of Fiends. Because that black belt's going to mow down these fiends.
This is greater than less than. That's 10 chests in a very small area, which 4x is going to be able to check very quickly.
Yep.
Sir Tobalot found Elfland? Did anybody else actually see Elfland?
I don't think anybody saw Elfland. We got all of our magic from the Superstore. Wall was level 2 also? My god. Wall, heal 4, and cure life 2. What a loaded level 2. There's a chunk.
We're just consistently one off.
Mm-hmm. Story of my life. Yep, agreed, Fizzle. That temper should be go and go and go.
Stinpyro is making the steak and wing work.
Yeah, they're getting there. I think last I saw they were 22. Probably going to be 23 or 24 here after this fight.
Infrared Soup asking, what are chunks? So we are doing a treasure hunt seed. We need to get 28 chunks in order to open the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Those are found in boxes, but you can also kill Lich, Carry, Tiamat, and Kraken to get some. It's 2 each for the Earth and Fire Orbs, 4 for the Water and Air Orbs.
Mm-hmm.
So, however you manage your total of 28 shards or chunks in this particular seed is how we get in. 4x
Again,
really leaning into whatever box I can find. I'm going for.
Yep.
And there it is.
Okay, we got a race right here, fam.
Oh, this is big.
Yep. Heal pots are good. 92 is plenty. Go. We're going to be 1 floor and maybe 2 fiends ahead. Maybe not even, actually.
That will also depend on how nasty the fiend refights are.
Yeah. 4x
having a moment. Where's my Topher?
Oh my god, bats, please. Okay. All right, we're a floor behind.
Also worth noting for our runners here is that the bats in the Temple of Fiends have the star rating version of hints for the refights. So you could get information here. 4x does not care. We have a black belt. It's time to go. And
Lich throws out lightning too, and you're going to see the difference here. We're not even rezzing the red mage. We're just going. Punch coming. And splat.
Kaboom.
All right, both fiends down at the same time, but you're about to see this black belt just, pull ahead here.
Yeah. Wait, swing, wait.
Mm-hmm.
We're done here.
Yeah.
Bye, Carrie.
Splat.
And that was the time it took Forsaken Sadness just to heal.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Kraken lives through a punch. That's mildly concerning.
Another lightning too. Kraken's gonna go down on this next punch though, probably? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can see the power here of a level 42 black belt. We're already on Tier 2, and Forsaken has not passed carry yet. Forsaken ran a great race too. That's, much respect for what he did, but this black belt just coming.
That'd be 1,300, not 13,000 Ghost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh,
Blaze comes out from Chaos.
a little annoying.
Punch comes out for 948.
Mm-hmm.
Punch for 499. Rub does not do rub things. We'll punch for about 100. Punch back for 749. And we have a GG for 4x.
Yep. So with a official race time .gg time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, 52 seconds, 4x finishes first on stream and first place overall on Sunday's edition of Week 3 Duck Derby Summer 2022. GG's.
Okay, we're about to get the saddest news on Sinpyro's side. Yep. Sinpyro just found the 4 eyes after
Finishing
the grind to 32 on the black belt.
Oh boy.
Found the masa. Like, that's got to be just a horrible feeling. Like, if I had looked a little harder on this floor, I'd be done.
Yeah. Like, would have been done quite a while ago, too. Well, at least now we don't have to tell them about it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we have 4X chilling in the broadcast room. I'm going to grab him, all right?
Okay.
All right. And we are joined in the booth by our first place runner on stream and first place overall this week, 4X. How's it going?
Of course I can't hear anybody.
Oh no, can you hear us? We can hear you.
Hold on a second.
The fighting microphone is a real problem.
So 4X, whenever you get up, man, and you can hear us and we can hear you, feel free to start chatting away. Hey, there you are. GG's.
My computer reset sometime this week, and every time it does that, I have to reset and put everything into it, including what comes out, where it goes in.
Well, GG.
Yeah.
That's on first place in this race.
I did not think that would happen.
The power.
I gotta say, I was impressed that you took the grind all the way to 42 and then proceeded to just stomp through the rest.
Yeah.
But part of that, I think, was you had a lot of early fiend knowledge and just the availability of fiends overall. What are your thoughts as far as how that played out?
I saw those Agamas, and I figured I might grind them, wiped to them, came back, and I said, well, let's see what the other tile is. Oh, I have a quad X shirt and, and a place where I'm not going to get an off tile fight. Let's go.
So let's talk a little bit here about that quad X shirt. You need to stop throwing quad X shirts after your black belt hits 22, my friend.
I just want to be sure that he could punch.
21. We were watching your menu, and I'm like, stop, please, just punch.
It was a good grind, though. You got to the point where you could punch. You started punching. You continued punching until you were done. And then the nice thing was that it was a relatively safe overall. There was a safer place to take that encounter because that tile for the 3-eye grind is the same as the bottom right room. So you could have taken it there. It would have been a little shorter to get back out. But, I mean, you got out just fine. You didn't lose the grind. Everything just went swimmingly.
Yep.
Yeah, I was shaking toward the end there. I'm like, wait, I'm fighting chaos, and nobody else is finished yet.
That is the black belt right there.
That's also the power of getting first place in your first, competitive race. Is that feeling of I'm in Topher. Is anybody else in Topher?
Yep.
And are they going to do better than me? Like, I remember the feeling where I was, in a long Topher and had not seen somebody finish yet for my first restreamed race, and it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for point of reference here, you and Forsaken Sadness entered Temple of Fiends. You were one floor behind him when he entered. He was on Lich when you were walking in, and the black belt just stomped as he's just pulling chaos now.
Yow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
having a little bit of difficulty here as well.
I'm sorry?
He's having a little bit of difficulty here as well. That fighter just got whacked real hard.
Ouch.
yeah. This has been a very rough Temple of Fiends for him so far, and it seems like maybe a little bit of level deficiency. But making the best of it, I think. It's just you got was it a Masa -1 for this seed?
Yeah.
It's,
Same
Definite-
quad
ooh.
extra was in, I think.
All right, so Chaos has nuke after Blaze. We did not see that because 4X splattered Chaos on the next turn, so that's gross.
Yep. As Fizzle put it in chat, it was just a slow motion wipe.
Yeah.
It was going to happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
But going back in terms of the grind for the black belt, one of the things that I find very difficult in entrance and floor specifically is I don't take notes, so I forget everything that has happened by the time that my grind is done. How did you deal with that particular problem?
I took notes.
That'll do it.
I saw somebody post in one of the chat rooms what their tracker that they use a dry erase on, and I printed it out, made a dry erase, and that's what I did this scene.
Nice.
Very cool.
That sounds like Rich Bork strats.
It does. I was thinking that was probably Rich. So, let me take a look here. So you've had looks like a 5th place finish and a 6th place finish in weeks 1 and 2, all the way up to 1st place this week. How you feel after the first 3 weeks of the Derby so far? How you feeling about the competition, the flags? What are your thoughts?
I think the flags are good. I think Blue Bear scares me. And, but I'm enjoying this. My first one, I just had a bad seed. Didn't practice the night before. Tonight, I didn't. This one, I didn't practice the night before either. Work just kept me for 14 plus hours. It just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I've enjoying this so far. Well, no, yeah. So.
Well, I think it's a really, impressive showing right here. You showed a really good handling of the black belt here. Saris and I were having a debate, if you find an early grind, do you take your levels or do you, keep it as knowledge and come back to it? You were just like, nah, I'm gonna get my levels now, which ultimately at the end of the day here turned out to be the correct call because you're finished.
Mm-hmm. Well, even if I didn't have that quad X shirt or whatever, I would have tried that at least for a little bit, especially how close it was to the. My brain just said there. How close it was to the entrance of that particular dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I thought you ran a really great race. How often do you are you comfortable with black belts? Do you like running black belts? You seem to have no problem taking one today, so we're just curious, is that your preferred melee, or what was your decision there?
I just didn't like the fighter. Usually in a I like black belts, but if it's a seed that's going to require me opening a lot of chests, I do like having the fighter, because most of the time I've noticed most of the time I have the equipment by the time I'm done. But I didn't like the fighter with the black belt vitality, or no, black belt strength, or black mage strength.
Black mage strength, yeah.
And I'm like, and the ninja can carry if I don't find a grind.
The early katana was a nice little tease as well for you guys getting that one helpful item, which a couple of runners decided to sell right away for money, which was, smart and fine, because I think the only person to find the tail was Simpyro, and I think they maybe reset out of it.
Yep.
Right. And there was a second katana too somewhere.
Yeah, you'll find katanas. There's I think 2 or 3 of them in boxes.
I think 2.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the week 4 flags next weekend. How do you feel about those, 4X?
Let me open them up and find out. Find out.
Amute City.
They're pretty vanilla looking with high XP scaling and high boss stats. Oh, and no encounters in dungeons or the overworld.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's I'm gonna be posting a Duckling Weekly for you guys, and well, tomorrow. I've ran 4 or 5 of these, trying to find one that I like for you guys, and my times are wildly varying between like, you know, the mid 30s and mid 50s. So I'm not quite sure what I want to give you guys just yet, but they're definitely fun and fast-ish.
All right. It sounds like a black belt seed to me.
Yeah, it sure does.
It does. It does, and you'll see why.
Yeah, the 20% per key item is pretty pretty good. I do like whoever decided to troll on these flags and put the random incentive in Titan's Trove for a week.
Yeah,
Which of the 4 boxes will it be?
I've gotten a kick out of that. That was pretty funny.
The call out from Dark Twinge that since now in the Temple of Fiends Revisited as well.
Yep.
With a 32-ish black belt.
Yeah, 32 to 33, I think. They did not find the eye tile till after they took the steak and wings in
the same floor.
The same floor, and they were having difficulty with the steak and wings that were throwing out lit 2s, fire 2s, and punching rather hard. So definitely a bit of sadness when I'm sure they walked onto that eye tile.
I get kind of curious on where this puts me now as far as the seating goes.
Well, if I know Dark Moon, the scores will be updated like within, you know, the next however long it takes the rest of the racers to finish. So.
So let's see. First place gives you 24 points, so that should bump you up to 57 at current.
Okay.
Forsaken Sadness going into Chaos with this is a rough start. We'll just go with that.
Yeah.
We're rusing, we're fasting, we're tempering. We're almost losing the Black Mage right away.
Yeah, 316 HP on this thief too. We're gonna
cheeky brack time.
Let's go. Let's go. Hit. Okay, no. And nuke. No, we're gonna punch. This is a moment when they really wish they had the saber bonk. That was from what, Matoya? I don't think many of us got that.
Yeah, I don't remember picking it up.
Yeah, I think the only person that grabbed that was it was Elf Prince. You're right. Shout out to our 2 trackers, actually, you know, with the notes and everything in our chat, Dark Twinge and Q, pushing the buttons and keeping us honest. Thank you both very much.
Dark Twinge has been taking notes, and I promptly moved away from that channel to look at what the week 4 flags were so I could intelligently talk about them.
I got them looked up right here. They did a really good job. They did a really good job. So Sin Pyro pulling Chaos. We're going to temper on, I think we're tempering the Thief with that Dragon +5. Interesting. That'll do some stuff. Stone Touch on Chaos. That's
what?
Okay. That's a thing.
Oh no.
we stop buffing. Just punch.
I mean, you could theoretically throw a soft out at that red mage.
You could, and down goes the black mage after they throw out their last temper. All right, we're gonna punch. 8 hits, 559. Swing from that dragon. 4 hits, 294. Rub comes out, ineffective. Punch and swing. 7 hits, 481. Down goes Chaos. Get your GGs out in chat for Sin Pyro. our second place finisher on stream and third place overall with an official racetime.gg time of 1:25:09. Finishing off stream in second place is Iker with a time of 1:12:32. GG's.
GG's.
See if they want to join us in chat.
In the waiting room, so yoink.
All right, that works for me. I'm gonna stop typing.
Hi, San. Welcome
Hey.
to the booth.
How you doing?
Oh
GG's.
my lord. You
So-
know, I've definitely had better days, but this wasn't too bad.
So there's a few things we're gonna want to chat to you about, but just we want to know, what are your thoughts on the steak and wings versus the eyes?
I did not run into the eyes. I did not find them at all.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have found the eyes, I wouldn't have even bothered with the steak and wings, because the steak and wings murdered me over and over and over and over again until I finally decided to get off my butt, go up to Corneria, buy some heel pots, and come back down to do it.
Yeah,
The eyes were next to the masa.
yeah, they were in the bottom right room when you were going to the Sharknado room.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But every time you walked back in and kept going up to the steak that was tenderizing you, I was like, please just go to the bottom room, please.
That hurts, but you know, with everything that's happened and the fact that I still came out in third with a 125, I am exceedingly happy about that.
Yeah. I'm very much curious what Iker's party was as well, because 4X took a black belt, you took a black belt, and it seems that like black belt was just the black belt was the winner, even though the scaling, like Sarah and I were talking about, was not really conducive to needing a black belt at the levels that some of you guys got. But I mean, they certainly, you know, you see why they just run through Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, and I agree with you. The scaling wasn't really necessary for running black belts, but in all of the practice seeds that I ran, the most success I had was running of some variation of a black belt comp.
Mm-hmm.
This time I decided to go red mage because, you know, the white mage's blurstings were just kind of, you know, not being able to wear a ribbon was just scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go with a red mage, and then I wound up having to walk out of every dang deep dungeon I ran into.
Is real quick, is Sir Toblot getting okay, no, they're going down here. I thought they were getting Temple of Fiends. Yes, they are.
No, but I had a lot of fun with this. It was a blast. I've been having a lot of fun with this, with the Duck Derby for the entire run, so.
Definitely want to know like what your thoughts are so far on, you know, week 3. How do you feel about the flags? How do you feel about the competition? Your thoughts on the tournaments so far?
I'll tell you what, this has been a lot closer than I expected it to be. Especially within like the top 2 to 5 are really close in the points right now. The week 3 flags, you know what, I've been running, like I said, I've been running a lot of practice seeds on week 3, and I have found that I really, really enjoy EFT, despite the fact that I have to stop, take notes, you know, figure it out. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
So looking at the score right here, you are sitting. Where is it? I lost you. Where'd you go? Oh, you were 3rd place after week 1, 4th place after week 2, and looks like you're currently sitting in 3rd place right now, I think. Tied for 2nd as it stands right now. 56 points. That's pretty good.
That's a lot better than what I was expecting to do, to be honest.
Yeah, that's really pretty good.
So I appreciate everything you guys are doing to help new people out, like for real. It's with the duckling seeds of the week and all this stuff that you've got to help people get acclimated to the randomizers, and especially racing the randomizers. It's been like a big boon to all of us, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of people help us when we joined, so to be able to give back to newer players definitely feels pretty good for us too. So thank you for the kind words.
Heck yeah, it's probably my favorite part of being in the community is, you know, the giving back part for our new folks.
Agreed. I like it a lot too. Forsaken here on Chaos again, in trouble.
Oof.
That's
Swirl.
a swirl.
Yep. So we got Blaze, we got Nuke, we got Swirl, and
This is the
Sadness.
story of a swirl.
Yeah, the only thing I saw in Chaos was a stone touch, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, that was funny. That was actually really kind of funny. Normally he'll punch you for such damage that you're not going to see the stone touch.
Right.
So I'm looking at Forsaken's performance so far and thinking it is go get some levels o'clock.
Yeah.
Go get some levels mode is a very sad time.
Yep, it sure is. You really just got to keep feeling like, I got this dragon +5, I got this massa -1, I should be able to punch through here if I can just get some turn order, but I mean, the damage just is not there right now with the strength penalty on this fighter.
Yep. Ghost asking about what does Stone Touch do? It is on an attack. It has a chance to inflict the Stone status. And Stone is more or less effectively instant death, except you can use soft in battle in these flags, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So it puts the target out of commission.
Yeah. Turns him into a nice, fancy, large, dragging around paperweight.
A lawn ornament.
Funny thing is, too, when you walk on damage tiles with a stone character, they still take damage.
It's funny because Stone Touch is something that I seek out sometimes in Seeds so that I can ensure the safety through Topher of like a life caster.
Right.
All right, Sir Tobalot headed up onto Chaos now as well.
Also with a Thief lead here, Iker in chat answering my question earlier, they brought Thief Rainbow. So Thief Rainbow in a time of 112, that's pretty good, man. Yes, essentially Petrify and hit Ghost. All right, we're going to Fog too. We're going to Temper. Rub misses. It is a very sickly looking Chaos. I love it. 5 hits, 5 damage. That's not going to get us there. We need more power.
More Tempers.
Yep, more Tempers and more Swing, more Fog too. Second Swing, 5 hits, 223, improving. Black Mage still alive. Out of Tempers. Let's start nuking. Nuke low rolls the Black Mage. We're going to get one off.
Was that like 4 hits, 5 damage out of the Thief there?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think Sir Tav's stream is like skipping here and there because I keep thinking they're resetting and then they're back in the fight.
Yeah. 4 hits, 66. This is an incredibly dangerous Chaos for this low of a damage output.
Yep. There's a Nuke. Nuke low rolls a little bit. Quad X misses. Swing 4, 234. Quad X again. Force 254. 4 hits 71. Fire 3. We go down to 82. Another Nuke Swirl is coming. 5 hits.
Ooh.
300 something damage. Down goes Chaos. Get your GGs out in chat for Sir Tobalot, finishing in 3rd place on stream and 5th place overall with a time of 1:34:02. And then finishing off stream in 4th place is Mr. Ibis with a time of 1:32:08. Get your GGs out in chat for them, and as soon as they jump in the waiting room, we'll drag them in here.
This has been a surprisingly rough seed, I would say. Like, Entrance and Floor is a tricky beast. Entrance Floor Town is a really tricky beast.
Deep Town at that.
Deep Town is even more problematic, unless you found your way over to the Superstore at Lefane.
Yep, which was at Lefane.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot there. And then, do you find your levels? Do you find your gear? All of that at the same time. Can be very tricky. here with the 3-hit, 3 damage red mage attack to finish chaos. Ooh. That's a feeling right there.
Picturing spoiler chat. I gotta check that. I gotta see that.
Wow.
Nice.
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
impressed. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are interested in seeing the screenshot as well, which you should be, head on over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, click on the community Discord link at the bottom of the page, and you can be in our Discord as well. Check it out in the post-race spoilers chat.
So let's see if Sir Tabalot wants to join in. I haven't heard back from them yet, but it's only been a minute. But why don't we start spinning this around here and maybe start working on some final thoughts and some just general housekeeping and wrapping things up. So when is our next race? Saturday, correct?
That is correct. Saturday, I believe 7 Eastern?
Yes. Trying to look in the pins and yeah, I don't know. I'll trust Saracen. Saturday, July 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Team Bikke, the Team 2, going at it with these same flags. And we had a little ding right there. Do we have Sir Tabalot? We do! Joined in the booth by Sir Tabalot. GG's.
GG's.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Wow, I got lucky there at the end, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were coming up on some rough times in the damage front from that chaos, and the crits came in just well enough out of that massa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was debating whether or not to do a eye grind before I went to that second dive, and it's like, you know what, I'll give it one more try before I do an eye grind, since I knew where those 3 eyes were. And I had a couple rally mistakes. Oh, go ahead with the eyes.
No, I was just gonna say everybody seemed to be taking the 3 eyes for the most part. They were, pretty free right there, and Simpyro decided he was hungry.
Yeah, when I first saw them, I went back to them 2 or 3 times just to get a few levels so I could get up to 15 to get the lock picking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. I forgot lockpicking was on too. Smart.
And there was like time to pause and think for a second. I went to a couple wrong places because I wrote a couple things down wrong on my guide. So that's why you saw me go to a couple of places and be like, what the fuck? Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. They'll bleep that out in post.
Lol, what?
Question quick in chat from Simpyro. Where was the Roostick? The Roostick, Earth 1, correct, Saracen,
Yep.
if I'm remembering right? Yeah, bottom left room, I think.
Yeah, chat's got us on this one.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus the Frog. Also, question in chat from Aushland Art. Where are you able to watch the entirety of the Duckling VODs? So, you could go to the YouTube channel, Final Fantasy Randomizer, and some of the great members of our community have put, I think, the entirety of the boot camp already on there for extra credit and regular boot camp. And each week when we finish these races, we get them loaded up and onto the YouTubes, and they should be out there very soon. So, let's see. Forsaken Sadness, going to pull Chaos again, but why don't we toss things around here for a maybe some final thought action real quick. So let's start with 4X here, our first place runner on stream, first place overall, first in our hearts. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, just again, I want to reiterate what Simpyro said is thank you guys for putting this on. This is definitely something that's helped me out a lot as far as learning how to run this and be able to get more comfortable with it. And I really had fun today with the Entrance 4 shuffle. I've been having fun with the practices as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we were talking, Saracen was saying how much he enjoys Entrance and Floor, so it's definitely a really fun way to play the game. It's definitely different and unique. Takes a, you know, you got to take your notes and keep things straight if you can. Some people don't take notes because they're crazy, but that's fine.
Cough, cough, me.
So let's see. Our second place runner on stream, third place overall, Sin Pyro. Any final thoughts? Are you still with us? Yes.
Yeah, I cannot not take notes because I have the memory of a goldfish. No, in all seriousness, no. I want to go thank you, Luffy and Saracen, for being the nice little entertaining talking voices, and Dark Moon and Q and Dark Twinge for the restream and the tracking. You guys are greatly appreciated as always. Looking forward to next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chaos gave Forsaken Sadness the business again.
Forsaken.
He's got some fairly decent levels too. He's just not having the power to get through with this fighter. But it's okay.
That kind of reminds me of reminds me of the first seed I got restreamed on. I ended up getting dead last because I had to fight Chaos 3 or 4 times, but I kept going until I finished it off.
Yeah,
That's what he's doing.
Sometimes Chaos is just gonna body you and say, "Not today, nerd."
Yeah.
But I do approve and applaud the intestinal fortitude of still going though, because it's very easy. It's easy to quit. It's easy to walk away. It's easy to say it's not your day. It is not easy to continue to fight, to continue to go, especially when you're in a restream setting. So absolute props and definitely a lot of respect from me to Forsaken Sadness for keeping this up. It's very easy to walk away right here when you're getting bodied like this for about 30 minutes. Respect that he's still going.
It's awful ballsy to go in at level 22.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Sir Tabla, while we got you chatting, any final thoughts here?
Although at first I didn't really like the floor and town shuffler, I'm kind of getting used to it and starting liking it more. So that's what I like about these duckling derbies. These are flags I probably wouldn't play if I was playing it on my own. And another problem I had when I played it on my own is I'd always set the scaling for the bosses way too high to where I keep having to level up to level 50 before I could take the bosses.
The boss scaling can be complex. You see, like we had today, it was 70 to 150. I think Chaos rolled much closer to the 150 range as far as like his stats. The HP, yeah, maybe, but it definitely, you can see just the, I mean, I'm just gonna keep saying it, black belts are my favorite melee. You can see what the black belt does when they get into the Temple of Fiends. They don't stop.
Yeah, most of my practice seats I did either a thief and a fighter, and then a red and a black, or a thief rainbow. And I just thought the thief rainbow would fit, especially with the Excalibur on the red mage.
It was definitely an interesting party composition. You were the only person on stream to take it, and I think Iker said they also took Thief Rainbow. It can work. The Thief historically doesn't always get the most HP on them, so it can be difficult for them to survive some of the higher tier spells in Temple of Fiends. But with the evasion agility they have, and if you can promote them to a ninja to swing a katana that does immense damage, they can be viable as a melee finisher.
Oh, definitely.
So while we're at it, let's stick with Forsaken Sadness right here, doing this Temple of Fiends dive again. Back on to Kraken 2 with the Sleep Touch and 16 HP left on that fighter.
I will compliment him on his sprites. I do like those sprites.
Yeah, I like them too. That's a neat little hat there on Nuke, the Black Mage.
Woobear with a controversial take in chat.
I see that.
Nerf katana.
No.
Wow.
All right, so Life 2 showing itself here in battle, bringing the fighter back up. The fighter will keep the amount of buffs they have put on them as well. They will keep the temper casts, so that's good. And
Well, I think of all the weapons you don't want to nerf, katana would be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Vorpal. Yes.
I like how we get the contrasting views on that.
The Vorpal.
Hashtag never Vorpal.
The Vorpal holds a very special place in my heart. You know, it helped me win a co-op race, but it is definitely. I'd rather take a cat claw.
Vorpal rolls positive. It can be pretty.
Hey, I finished the seed last week with
Good if all you're finding is a bunch of negatives. Like a Vorpal.
It is funny when you have to finish a seed with like a Vorpal -2.
Right.
You're just like, look at the noodle damage on this.
Yeah. Every now and again, you'll get like one crit through for like 113. All right, Tiamat, less spooky than Kraken was Tiamat, but still just as, still a tier 2 fiend.
So while we're waiting on the Tiamat fight here, I do want to point out there's conversation in chat about how awesome our devs are for adding new things to the randomizer all the time. There are a bunch of new blurrings on the newest version of the randomizer, and some of them are real good. Wood Adept automatically setting your evasion to cap.
Yep.
Real interesting. Steel
Bananas.
Lord, you're automatically fasted as long as you have steel armor on.
It's so bananas.
I love it.
It's so cool. Like, I mean, you and I have been around roughly the same amount of time, Saracen. How different is the game since we joined, let alone how different it's been in the last 6 months? It's just wild.
I remember running Thieves and Ninjas before they were cool, and by that I mean before they had an Agi buff. The randomizer is incredibly different. Just in the time that I've been in the community, which is about a year and a half-ish, little longer than.
Yeah, me too.
We've had the addition of Monster in a Box. We've had the Thief buffs, the White Mage Harm All buff. We've had proc gen Overworld, like Noverworld, Deep Dungeons. Just so many different things have come in, and it's fantastic. I love our devs.
I do.
Oh, Deep Dungeon's fun.
Deep Dungeon's definitely an interesting animal as well. All right.
We're on a chaos fight again.
We are, and we've got all of our tempers off, our fast off. I really hope we sent a wall onto that knight, because I saw we walled the red mage, or we have the ribbon on that knight.
We're seeing real damage coming out from that knight, though, so that's good. We're seeing Brack strats.
I hope Brack hits. That'd be amazing. Behold the mighty thief. More Brack. Please hit. More Brack. Ineffective. Should have bought Exfer.
Barely helps. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Blaze comes out for real damage.
Everybody survives, though, so we got more Bracks. Swing 66503. You're right. There's some real damage.
Chaos. Eat your breakfast.
There's the nuke. Kills everybody but the fighter.
Do it.
7. It's 279. Down goes Chaos. Get your GGs out in chat for Forsaken Sadness, finishing 4th place on stream, 6th place overall, with a time of 1:49.21. GG's. Jesus the Frog forfeited off of stream. So with that, concludes race 1 of week 3 of Summer Duck Derby 2022.
I'm yanking Forsaken Sadness up here. He's in the podcast waiting room.
Get him.
Hello, Forsaken.
Can you hear us? GG's.
GG's, dude.
So, you, sir, earned my respect today by a mile, by continuing to fight, continuing to go. did you ever want to quit and did you ever want to stop? Because you sure look like you didn't. And I respect that wholeheartedly.
Yep, he's definitely earned the endurance award.
Yep. He went back to the waiting room for a second. Forsaken, can you hear us? Oh no, did we lose him? Or did we lose me?
You're here. It might just be a microphone issue.
Forsaken, we'll give you a minute to kind of figure your stuff out here. But real quick, I saw in our chat earlier, the race next week, Saturday at 7 p.m. is an RPG limit break. So I just want to make sure that I get the channel out there right. And I will do happy housekeepings here to thank you for Dark Twinge and Q for doing the tracking behind the scenes, Dark Moon for the restream, Saracen for joining me, and our runners for putting on quite a show. Forsaken, can you hear us or are you there yet? Oh no. Oh, I see him in chat. It's not working to talk. Oh, that's too bad. But anyway, like I said, you really just showed guts and heart and grit and grime to go through and finish that out. Very, very proud. And you and I were chatting before the race today, and you had no quitting you. And that's really something you can't teach. So, GG's for that.
Yeah, and just a little shout out from my experience in the Duck Derby so long ago. It was like 3 classes prior to this. Jeez.
Feels like forever, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just to put it out there, we have like the forced promotion from Duckling to Platypus for the top X number of runners, right? I missed that threshold because I DNF'd a race. If I would have just kept going and gotten literally last place, I would have been in the forced promotion bucket for that. So always, I'm always in favor of keep going, keep that grind on, make it happen. So appreciate the effort that you put in here, Forsaken, and that you just kept at it.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's very easy to quit. It's very easy to walk away when things aren't going your way. It's not easy to keep going and to keep fighting. And, some people got it, some people don't. And you, sir, got it. So respect. But with that, I guess we're done. Yes, Saracen?
I think so.
All right. So any final words from you, Saracen, before I try to take us on out of here and give RPG Limit Break their channel back?
Well, I want to say, GG to all the runners. I think there were 7 runners in this group that were competing today. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate you all putting on a good show. Looking forward to seeing how week 4 goes for everybody next weekend.
Gonna be moving and shaking week, just like the British Open today. Gonna be real good.
It's going to be real fast flags with a free airship and no overworld or dungeon encounters.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real interesting time. So I look forward to seeing you guys racing that next week. But yeah, other than that, I want to say, thank you to all the peeps that make this happen. Dark Moon on the restream, Dark Twinge and Q on the tracking, all of the folks in the Duckling planning channel, by the way. We've got some folks that have really stepped up. Luffy, you especially stepping up in the absence of a Dead Pulse.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I miss him. Dead Pulse, if you're out there, I miss you. Hope you're doing all right, bud.
So, other than that, Luffy, take us home.
All right, so real quick, going to just give a quick rundown here of top standings for our Group 1 racers here. Looks like currently first place is Mr. Ibis with 57. Tied for second with 56 is Iker and Simpyro. Borex in fourth place with 53. Forsaken Sadness looks like he's in fifth place with 49. And then a couple of runners in the mid-40s here. We have Sir Tabalat and Jesus the Frog with 48 and 46 respectively. This is going to be really pretty good, but this is anybody's match next week, the way this scoring works. So very excited to see how week 4 goes and who's going to make it top 2 to week 5. Should be pretty good. And with that, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for coming out and hanging with us, watching some great Final Fantasy Randomizer action. And thank you to Saracen for joining me, everybody in the booth, the runners for running. And with that, ciao and chillax, everybody. Final Fantasy Randomizer fam, we gone.